Hello and welcome back. I apologize for the craziness of my editor, but I just updated it and my theme doesn't work. So we're just going to roll with it and see what happens. Let's get things up and running. npm run dev, that's running. aq work, that's running. All of this is up and running. Let's come back up and we are good. So we're focusing in on the code today. Just hide Steve out the way. You know what I look like. Let's just get on with it, right? We are going to be handling payments today. So last time we worked on the booking engine. Everything worked nicely. It went well. Everyone's happy. Let's carry on. So for this, we are going to probably use Laravel Cashier and either Paddle or Stripe. We can do single charges on Stripe really easily, but we can also do it on Paddle. I'm not sure if Lemon Squeezy has it. Let's have a look at Lemon Squeezy because I do like a little bit of lemon. A little bit of lemon to go with my code. What do you think, people? What do you think? Okay, let's go Lemon Squeezy Laravel. Has this got it integrated yet, or is this something that we would have to do? Up dog. Hello from Berlin. Hello, Laravel Online. Okay, so roadmap, subscriptions, blah, blah, blah. Got API key, we've got a billable model, got migrations, webhooks. It looks like the Lemon Squeezy single payment. Well, you can easily create checkouts. Okay, so we can actually use Lemon Squeezy. Okie dokie dokie dokie. So let's have a look at this, and maybe we're just going to go for Lemon Squeezy because I kind of like them. I do like Paddle, and I would usually use Paddle. I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't know what Updog is. What is it? Another word? No. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I've got no idea. But we're going to focus on this for now. Before I go that far, I'm going to install Pennant because feature flags are important in any application, if you ask me. It's always nice to have them. Oh, that terminal's really going to annoy me. Let's just open up Warp. And let's go zoom all the way over there, and let's just make sure it looks nice. So cd Tranquil Stay, there we go. Let's install Pennant quickly. Come back to Arc. Once it's installed, we want to do the service provider. Let's come back to Warp and also do that. And let's go to the migrations and see what it's added. This just looks so off to me. Features table. What is going on? Let's go for, what's that one look like? That's a little bit better. Let's stick with that for now. This looks terrible. Looks terrible. Does not work for me. I'm not happy with this. I don't even think Laravel Pint is running. Come on. Never switch. Find. Apply. Okay. Yeah, this isn't running Laravel Pint either, which is good for me. I like it to automatically run so I don't have to go ahead and just do all of this stuff. And yeah. Okay, so features. blah, blah, blah. It's all good. I'm going to keep it as that. I'd usually switch it to a UUID, but we are fine for now. Let's just come here, migrate fresh and seed. That's going to do its business. And this code just offends me today. It's offending me, people. Come back to Arc. So once that's all done, we've got the configuration and we can define features where needed. Right now, I don't have any features that I want, but we'll worry about that a little bit later. I don't know if the material themes is available on the latest version. Marketplace. I think you can do like tag themes or theme. I don't know what that is. Inspired by. Okay, that's got to be better than what I've currently got. So I'm just going to use that. Color palette. It's nicer than default. So actions, theme, nothing to show. Okay, we just stick to it as it is and hope it's not too offensive, right? Because gotta be a nicer theme. Gotta be a nicer theme. Oh. I'm just going to stick with this. I apologize in advance, anyone who's watching this and doesn't like the theme. I do not either. So let's get back to where we were. We've just installed Pennant, and now we want to look at payments. So if we come back to Arc a second, we could either use Lemon Squeezy or Paddle. Now, I kind of like them both. They're both pretty good. I like the fact that I can use Laravel Cashier with Paddle straight out the box. All I've got to do is work with the migrations, sandbox, blah, blah, billable model. Paddle. I don't think I've signed up to Paddle yet. I don't think I have a Paddle account. Paddle.com. Getting started, sign up. What am I doing? Blah, 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 gambling, financial services, marketplaces, or sellers. Like, I'm going to go for that because I think that's about right. Let's just sign up. There you go. Continue. Business name. I'm just going to put it as individual 0. I'm just going to do this. I believe I've got another Paddle account. I don't know. Oh, there's so much to do. I just want to sign up. It's a shame you can't just skip this. That'd be so much easier. Taking way too long to do. There we go. We've got something. Woo. Okay, on my other computer, I am going to go ahead and confirm my email. Yes, yes, yes. Confirm your account. Fantastic. Right, so that has been verified and done its business. So now all I want to do is get this installed and working. That's installing that. Then I'm going to want to do this part, publishing the migrations. Let's go have a look at these migrations and see what it's published. Customers table. It'd be nice if there's like a customers model that I could actually work with. Laravel point. There you go. Morphs. Does it create a model for me or not? It doesn't. I wonder. Oh, this is back. And this is cashier. Let's just publish it all. Resources, views, and config. Let's go check the config, see if there's a way I can override the models. Webhook secret, path, webhooks, currency, sandbox. There's got to be a way to override the models, right? There's a sandbox billable model. Yeah. Paddle.js, overriding default models. Okay, so we can do that in the app service provider or whatever. So let's go and do that first. In our providers, we're going to stick with the app service provider because that's what it told me to do to start with. So it's what I'm going to do. Cashier, use customer model. Cashier, use, and that's all I want really, is that for now. So I'm going to come to my models and just create a customer here. Is there anything I need to do on it? Just extend cashier customer, I assume. Okay, so use customer. That one, add paddle customer, extends paddle customer. We can say use has UUIDs. So that down here, let's just link that quickly. What argument does this take? Customer model. There we go, there we go, there we go. Right, customers table. What I can now do is UUID. This needs to be a UUID morph. Everything else is looking good. I'm happy with that. That has been configured. This does its business. Let's just add our fillable properties because, well, let's be honest, we've got to be thorough. Thoroughness works. Right, customers table, we've got billable ID and billable type. Billable ID, billable type, paddle name and email. So paddle ID, name, email. Then trial ends that with timestamps. Perfect. Let's just do a casts because we know that the trial ends at is a date time. That's an array. And this is an array with string. Don't need to do much else there. I'm pretty happy with that customer. Am I going to use Reverb? I might do, you know. We are going to be doing the payments today, so we are going to look at what we need to do for payments in Laravel. Now, I'm not going to have subscriptions, but I am going to keep them there just because I don't know if removing them is going to break anything, to be honest. So I'm just going to leave that there. Let's come back to Arc. Right, let's just scroll back through this. Done that, done that, done that. Paddle Sandbox. We're going to maybe need to do this. Come down to that env. We need to add some thingy-me-whatsits in there. There's probably a few that I need. I need all of these, but I'm going to add all of those a little bit later. Oops. That's what I want. I need all that to be added in a little while. Sandbox, I'm going to say true. Paddle.js, this is what we need. Paddle.js. So if we come down to our resources, views, components, layouts, page, we also want to do that. Next arc, that is then all done. All of that. Oh, at the end of a head tag. My bad, my bad. Don't want to break the internet. All right, next up, I need to do this part. Where is that hiding? Where is that hiding? Number formatter class. So I need to add that, and I want to make sure it is in the right version. Format. No matches. Okay, so I'm going to assume I can just say EN UK, maybe currency locale. We'll stick with that. Come back to Arc. We don't want that anymore. That's not useful. And we're not using that. We have got that. Come over here. Right, okay, so that's our currency. Override the default models. I have done that. Quick start selling products. Right. So I can say I need to add the billable to the user. So let's come to our user model and add that trait. Use billable. Now this is going to manage as customer. So we can do a create as customer. We've got a customer relationship. So up here, what I want to do is just do a property customer as customer. Anything else within here? Preview prices, paddle name, no, not super important. Billable, manages transactions. So we will have many transactions. Property collection transaction. Paddle as transactions. That is another one that I can add and performs charges. Checkout, subscribe. No, nothing good there that I need. Perfect. So that's a user model done. That's a JS stuff done. All of the good stuff is done. Oh, got a question. I've got a Laravel 5.2 legacy project and need to maintain it. Also, code base have all spaghetti code. Do you have some recommendations how to start refactor and migrate to a better Laravel version? Honestly, I would just go straight for using, oh, I forgot the name already. Oh, it was in my head. Remind me, people. So Laravel shift, just Laravel shift. That's the best way. Just go straight for Laravel shift and just pay the money. It is worth it. It's, $10, $20, whatever it might be. Just go straight for a Laravel 11 upgrade, or just install Laravel 11, copy all of your code across. Just copy all the models, migrations, views, controllers, just copy all that stuff across. But I would just go for shift. It is paid, but it saves so much time. Honestly, I don't think there's an easier way to do it. Okay, selling products, we can do that. Buy, check out some PRI Deluxe albums thing. Paddles checkout overlay to charge customers non-recurring single charge product will utilize cashier to charge customers. With that, once the payment has been made via checkout overlay, the customer will be a redirected URL of your choosing within your application. Redirect to dashboard, blah, blah, blah. Lots of stuff. X paddle button by product. Cool. Providing metadata to paddle checkout. Order create. Order. Okay, so there's some stuff that we can do here. We can listen to this, complete an order and selling. Okay, we're just going to focus on this bit to start with. So where to start? So we've got a booking, and a booking is needed. So we want to go to like this. This is a sort of thing that we need. So let's just grab that. We're going to copy it, and we're going to go look in our application and see what we can figure out. So when I don't think we've done any routing yet. So maybe we will go and look at that now. Routes, web. So we've got like this kind of bookings thing. We want a client to be able to interact and book stuff. And that's all going to be within this main part. So as client, maybe we're going to group things. We're going to add a base path. And that path is going to be routes web client.php. That's where all of our main stuff is going to be. So we create a new one within here, client.php, declare some strict types. We're going to use that. I'll just drop that in there for now. So yeah, I know there's an ID error that died. Right, so this. We're going to have some sort of cart checkout thing. I don't know where this cart is coming from because we don't actually have a cart. Instead, we're going to have a room here, and we're going to have a book. No, we're going to have a book, or maybe we have bookings pay. This will be a bookings. For now, we're just going to kind of wing it right now. In this cart, we're going to have booking. Let's now simplify that. Now, this order is created using that, but we don't actually need it because we got it all in the booking anyway. Check out something, and we're going to pass through custom data. View billing, checkout. So this is going to be, what does this need to do? User checkout. So if we go look at our user model, and let's understand what this checkout method does. Checkout prices is an array of strings with a quantity, and that string is going to be something. I'm assuming that's like an amount. So our booking already has a cost. Custom data, room ID, or we're just going to say the room is booking room to array. So that we want to pass that across. We're also going to want to pass across the booking ID as booking ID for now. And this is going to load a view of pages.billing.index maybe. So let's go have a look at that. It's got a squiggle. Where's this squiggle coming from and why? Expected. Ooh, okay, my bad. Put that in the wrong place. That gets rid of a squiggle. Declared as static. Yes, I know, but I'm going to be moving it. Don't worry. Right, okay, so views, pages. We're going to put all of this within client and booking. And then we're going to have our just standard index.blade.php. Don't know what that's going to have yet, but we'll figure that out. Pages, client, billing, index, arc. Okay, so what do I actually need to do on that page? Because I don't actually know. I'm assuming something will happen. Paddle button. Let's just put that in there for now. I don't know. I don't have a clue. Right, what layout do we want? We want the layout app, maybe? X layout dot app. And the title is going to be pay for your booking. Drop that in there for now. Let's come back to Arc and see what happens when I actually go and visit it over here. So have I actually done any login? I don't know if I actually hooked any of this up, or if I just skipped it for now. Yep, I haven't done any of the login. Let's add that. Let's add some authentication stuff because we're going to want it. So for that, we are going to say a live wire make auth login form. Simple, simple, simple. Right, now views, pages. Let's create a inside client. We need auth because we got these separate applications. Actually, no, we want to kind of share the auth between support and client. So let's just add this at a higher level, auth and login. And I'm not, obviously, as you can see, I'm not using any scaffold for this. I'm going to use a guest. Title is going to be log into your account. XUI.container maybe, and we're just going to say livewire auth.login form. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. This part here, we are going to just wrap this in some middleware for auth group that we're going to use a static callable and just drop it in there and see what happens. Obviously, this also wants to be authenticated. Maybe not. we'll get around to that part, but then we need to actually add some guest stuff. Middleware, guest, group. And instead of that, we are going to use base path where the path is roots web auth.php. That will do the trick, I think. So inside here, let's create our auth.php. Declare new, declare, use that, root view, login, pages, auth.login, name login. There we go. So now if we come back to Arc, go there, root login not defined. That's because we have got a different setup. So let's say make middleware guest middleware, open up that guest middleware. This is going to extend redirect if authenticated. And then let's just fix all that up. And we want to override the redirect to method. And this will just return a string. And we're going to return a root for pages login. Although I'd like to use that ideally. So we'll go for that, close that off, come back to roots, that's auth. We're going to prefix it as auth, and we're going to say it as auth. Now, if we open up Bootstrap app middleware, what we can do is say middleware aliases will be guest as guest middleware. That'll override the default, allowing us to do what we want. .404 not found. Okay, so let's just do a quick root list and see what we've got going on. Login down there, pages login. What's happening with roots? What's happening with roots? No, that is all wrong. We want to add that here. Here we go. Root login not defined. That is coming from the somewhere. Authenticate middleware. Okay, so our middleware is extending the wrong one. Of course it is, because that is what happens when you don't pay attention to what you're doing. Authenticate. No. That one. Going back to Arc. Still getting a root login not defined. What is going on? Foundation helpers, application builder, vendor frames, authenticate. Okay, so this is the auth middleware. Blah, blah, blah. Where's that app here? We want that to be auth. Undefined variable heading. Perfect. We are getting somewhere. Components layout guests. Come and just come to here, and our heading is going to be, wrong one. That's the pay part. Come down to here, and we want to say that our heading, actually, no. Let's just fix that layout instead, because that'll be a lot easier. Heading or title. And then we can update this to say that by default it is I'm just not doing it today, am I? Here we go. No. Arc, log into your account. Cool. Now come back to PHP Storm. We're going to remove that. That's got a heading, blah, blah, blah. Got a slot there. And now we can focus on the login form quickly. So Livewire, auth, login form. This is going to return a view. And what I like to do when I'm building Livewire stuff is create my own concerns here, because I know I'm going to have a user at some point. So there's a public function user, then return auth user. Then this will be a computed property. I'll need that later. Right now, let's just say, let's load the factory in. Factory make this view. And let's load that like that. Come back to Arc. That's still working, so we can come and focus on our view itself. Now, if we come down to here, we've got this. This is what we need. All of that stuff. Replace that for test and come to here and that login form. Livewire auth login form. We're just going to write a section there, drop all of that in, come back to Arc, and we've got what we need. Whew. Yeah, I'm not using a scaffolding because I kind of want to do my own thing. I'm going to borrow a lot of things from the scaffolding, but I'm not actually going to use it. So we've got a form. And that's great, but we've already got Filament installed, so we don't actually need to build a lot of the login form itself. What we can do is come down to Livewire auth, and what we can say is implements as forms, because we've already got it. So we can now say copy read filament form use interacts with forms. Public array data is equal to that. And then we need to mount the form or fill the form's default state. Right. Slow down, Steve. Slow down. Right. This form fill. Then we're going to have a couple of things. We're going to have a submit method. I always like to use a submit method because that's kind of what you do on a form. And that's going to handle the logic. I'm not going to implement the full auth. I just want enough to do a login. So return form schema, and then we're going to do a state path of path data done. Drop that in there. We're going to have a text input. Going to make an email with a label of email address. This will be required. It should be an email, and it'll have a max length of 255. Next up, we have a text input that we will make. The name is, come on keyboard, password, label password, reveal, required password, max length, and revealable. I want to be able to reveal the password. Okay, so then that's going to do handling logic. So this big old form here, what I can actually do is grab all of this. We still need that submit button. What I can do is just print the form. This form still got to submit. Then we can swap this for wire submit, submit, come back to Arc. Everything's doing its job. Right, now we just need to clean up some of that styling. Let's just remove that background, keep that, keep all the other stuff for now. Ooh. Why is that gone all funky dunky in color? Have I done anything silly that I can't think of? No, maybe not. Okay, we're just gonna make do. Maybe we'll switch to light mode for a little bit. Cool. Avert your eyes if you don't like it. So what I can do is say, it's stevemcd@gmail.com. Password is password. I can click on the eye and I can see, I can reveal the password. Then I can sign in. That'll hit the method that I'm using. And then on this login form, on this submit, I can get the auth manager injected. And I can say auth attempt where the credentials is this form get state. Then this redirect URL is root pages home, I believe. I'm not going to handle the kind of failure state right now. I'm just going to leave it as is. Send it to Arc. Just speed. This should take me to the home page, and I'm all good. So sign into account. Fantastic. So we have now logged in, and what we want to do once we've logged in is this will now use the app. It doesn't actually need a heading. Come back to Arc, refresh. I'm going to switch back to the dark mode, and we should all be good. We've got something. So at this point, they've logged into our hotel application, and they want to be able to see what rooms there are. So this app layout down here. Let's come back to Arc and let's open up Tailwind UI like this. Browse components, and what we want is a basic kind of sidebar layout. Now, if I open up Linear, I don't know what account I'm going to be signed into. Work. So let's switch that to me. Let's come over to the hotel booking platform, and the UI concept is this. Ta-da! So this is something that a friend of mine on Twitter created and let me borrow. So down here, what we might have is listings. You might have like rooms, or you might have buildings, and click on the building, see the rooms that you have available. And within here, you've got a little bit of information and you can add a booking, blah, 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 you know, stuff. So for this, I need a sidebar layout. And the closest one is probably just something like this. So what we will do, we're just going to inspect this. We're not going to focus on the UI too much. That's going to take us way too much time. Instead, we're just going to drop that in there. This placeholder can be vermooshed. Spoken that, and we're just going to drop a slot in there. So now if we come back to Arc, come over to our Tranquil Stay, and we got an application that kind of works. Right, it does what it says on the tin. The only change, so it doesn't offend my eyes, is this sidebar component. I'm going to set the background to be slate 50, and in dark it will be background slate 900, so it matches. No, I don't want Chrome. I want Arc. Reload. Ah, why is that not working? What is wrong? Let's make sure that's still running. Did it do anywhere else? That's a sidebar. Let's do a quick BG indigo. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, we'll fix that another time. We'll eventually change the style, the colors, all that stuff. But for now, we're just going to focus in on our slot here. We want to remove that so that it is definitely, we've basically got this whole area. And what we'll do is we'll say hateful. Let's just quickly inspect and make sure that that's hateful. That's within a div. And we want to make sure this is also full height. Full height, full height. Awesome. We've got the start of our UI. And I'm not going to dive into specifics because I want this to be about the payment. And I've already spent 48 minutes and we've not actually accepted a payment. So we'll come to Tailwind UI, and what we're going to do is we're just going to do a nice grid list of rooms like this. We're not actually having a lot of information about the room. So I'm just going to have one of these simple ones, contact card. Awesome, that'll do. Right, come back to here. And we're going to make a livewire component for it. So a livewire, make reservations, and this will be a room list. So we want to list all rooms from a specific building, floor, building, whatever, one of them. Right, index. So here, what we want is a section within here, livewire reservations dot room list. Make sure we aren't dying. Fantastic. Right. So this is going to look terrible, but it will work the way I need it to. Room list, and just drop that in there for now. Nice card, perfect. Maybe what I'll do is grab all of that and say xui.container, and we're going to do a py24 for now. Just give it some space so it looks like it's on the page. And then in our Livewire reservations room list, let's just make sure we are getting some rooms. Basically, we just want to get all rooms for now. I'm not going to worry about filtering it to a specific floor. Factory, make view. And public function mount. Actually, no, we're just going to do a public function rooms. We're going to make this a computed property because we want it to be kind of there. So we can return room query get. This is going to return a collection. Let's just make sure we've got type. So we've got room type. That's all going to be in there. Sleep size, daily rate. Maybe we'll get like with relationship on the floor and amenities. Room list with floor and amenities. We must keep it straightforward. So then this li here, we're just going to grab that. We're going to for else this rooms as a room. Drop that in. Quick empty state. Li. Nothing. Nothing here. We'd typically design something for that. So there we go. We've got all of that. And what we want to do is just make sure we're listing stuff. So drop that image, because I'm pretty sure room doesn't have an image yet. We can look at that later. So this H3 is going to be the room name. Connect to arc. Fantastic. Let's just drop that over this side. So we're going to have a name, a label. Maybe we'll stick with label. Screen only. So we've got accessibility. For this, we're just going to say room accessible. Accessibility, fix that. Come back to arc. If there's any accessibility stuff, it should show, which it's currently not, but I'm not too worried. Probably because I spelled it wrong. Wheelchair accessible. Fantastic. So it's got all of that stuff. Type. Room type is going to be in here, apparently. Room type value. Apartment, double, shared suite. You see where I'm going, right? Why not return a view? So what the view method will do is exactly what that factory method does anyway. So what I mentioned last time is that I don't use helper functions if I can help it. So I'll always kind of inject and new up where possible. What I'm going to do, let's just remove that flex one, Excellent. So what I can do is just say book. Let's just go to heroicons. And let's actually, did I already create this icon? That is the question. Components, no icons yet. So let's go new directory, icons, come back to here, and let's just look for like money or calendar. Calendar. This one. Copy the SVG for that. I love this new website. And what we'll do in here is we will just add a new file called calendar.blade.php. And this is how I do icons. Drop that in there. And we will add in just any attributes that are passed in. So that means that when we come to this SVG here, we can grab that, and instead we can say x icons.calendar, class that, come up to arc, come back to our web, and we got book. So what we want this to do is go to a specific URL to book this room. Now we can come down to our roots again, client. We are going to create a booking, then come to pay for it. So this is going to take us to the client roots here. We are going to want to say root prefix rooms as rooms group static closure with a void return. Within here, let's do a get request on the room itself /book name. So that would be rooms book. And this is going to go to the controller. And I'll fix all of this up a little bit later so that we're focusing on the payments. So HTTP controllers, we are going to create clients or client roots. Then we're going to have reservations and rooms. And then we're going to have a booking controller. Now, again, I come over here and I create a concerns. I like to create traits where appropriate. This one is going to have a view, which means that public function construct protected read-only factory as factory. That's simple. Then this one is as view, so it's invocable. This is going to accept a request. A request and a room. And it will return a view. We can say return this factory make. The view is going to be pages, client rooms booking. That'll do. And the data is going to be the room, We're going to load some relationships and see if it lets us. Load some bookings in. So now we need to make sure we've got that view. So pages, client, reservations, rooms, booking.blade. New file booking.blade.php. X layouts dot app. Title is going to be just book a room for now. Let's just drop I like to drop sections in. Book the darn room. So now we've got that there, we can then drop this in and say booking controller class for now. Clean it up later. All good. Room list. This is actually going to go to root pages client. Let's go double check what it is. Oops, wrong button. Just list it. So lots of things. Not admin. Why is it not in there? Why can I not see it? Where are you hiding? Bookings, booking pay. I said checkout. Rooms, room, book. Pages, client, rooms, book. Oh, just such a big root name. Huge. Right, so we're going to go there. And we want to pass through the room. Once we click that, we can worry about anything else afterwards. So click that, book the darn room, perfect. But obviously, we're creating a link and we're using Livewire, so we may as well use wire navigate. Right? Nice and fast. You're late. What is the font? I believe it's a Railway font. Just a default font, to be honest. Nothing extravagant, different, or fantastic. It's just what came, what I'm using. Yeah, that's sorry. I kind of pay attention to the chat as well. So why concerns, not traits? So as Laravel Jutsu has mentioned, concerns is kind of like the Laravel way to name traits. And the same goes for interfaces with contracts. When I'm writing Laravel code, I stick to those conventions. It makes sense, right? Okay, so this is going to be the booking form, which is going to tap into our booking engine. So, right. We are going to want a Livewire component to help us book. Let's come look at this. Reservations room list. So a Livewire make rooms book room. This is going to be the booking form. This will use as user because we're going to want to get that logged in user. This will return the view. The factory will be view factory. Now I write Laravel code very different to a lot of you, but please do bear in mind it does the same thing. You don't have to write it the same way as me, but if you want to, I will not complain. Right, this is going to have a form. It means we want to implement as a form, and we want to use interacts with forms. But because we're using code styling, this is going to want to go after that one because it's alphabetical. So now what we can do is say public array data is an array. We are going to mount the form and say this form build. We will have a submit button, which means we need a submit method, which doesn't do anything right now. this is just going to create the booking and redirect to pay. Now we can do the form. Now return form, schema, the state path is data. Excellent. So now let's just open up the booking. And what do we need? We're going to need a start at, end at to begin with. So what we want is some form of date selection. Let's go to arc and filament PHP, and let's see what we have got. Get started. What we want is the form builder, and we're going to want a date of some description, right? So date time picker. Is that what we want? Is there a different version? So we're just going to have to go with it. Date time picker make starts at label. Let's close that back a bit. And let's make sure we're using named parameters because they're important for me. Label, and this will be check-in at. It is required. We're just going to leave it at that for now and see how it looks. So this is going to load that booking form. So this booking form needs to be built. So room list, blah, blah, blah. Book room. Form. Wire. Submit is submit. This form. Then if I look at this login form, it's going to grab the same submit button there. And we'll do a space Y6 as well, so it's familiar. As you can tell, I don't really do front end. There's a reason I don't do front end. And that reason is I am terrible at it. Right. Books darn room. Okay, so that is reservations room, booking, book the darn room. So this then needs to say Livewire reservations dot book room. We probably get, there we go. Check in at. Let's grab that. We're going to say xui.container. Drop that in there. And this section is going to say py24. There we go. We got to check in at. We want to pass the room in here. Room is the room. Now, if we come back to Arc, we should be able to book room. We should, in theory, be able to say public room is that. So if we click on the Livewire down here, you've got all of the data, and then we've got the room itself. Fantastic. So we've got what we need. We can also get the logged in user. We can then say check in at, click on the calendar. Check in at, check out at. Samey. This is going to be the ends at, check out at, check in at, or checkout date, check-in date. Is it, what can I do? Get min date, max date, min date. Okay, so we can actually customize that, but I'm not going to go through that part right now because I want to just focus on payments. So up. So we're going to do a check-in date of, we're going to check in tomorrow. Are we going to check out in a week? So then when we click that, it should hit the submit. So if we come over to this, what I'm going to do to start with is just die and dump on the form's state. This form, get the state. Come back to art, it's going to make us refill it in. Then you can't see it because it's being silly, but if I do that, we've got a start at and an ends at. It's a good start, right? Okay, so now what we want to do is basically create a booking and redirect to the pay page. So booking, because it's all going to do the validating here, we can just say booking for now, query, create now. Let's look at the booking itself. Status, the default status. Let's move this to that side and let's bring this up here. Zoom out a little bit so we get side-by-side view. So the status is going to be pending. And what we can do there is status, no, booking status, pending. The cost is this room. Oh no, we've got a service for this, haven't we? Services, no. Booking engine. We can inject the engine contract. Engine. So we can say, is this room available at this time? Now, we don't want to inject that, actually. We want to new it up. So we can say that our engine is a new engine. That needs to take the room. So now we've got the room or the engine. We can say if the engine available between the start is carbon pass, at the time is this form get state, and then we can pass in that starts at end carbon pass and that. So if it is not available, then we will, I don't know, do something here. Otherwise, we can carry on. And what we can then do instead is engine cost. Let's get that again. Start and end. Pass through. The room ID is this room ID. The user ID is this user ID. And what we would do is if we just delete that there, grab all of this and say attributes, array, merge, that, and this form get state. That would do all of the booking malarkey for us. Then once we've got our booking, we want to say this redirect. The URL is going to be to book, pages, clients, checkout. And that needs to accept a booking into the URL, booking. And that should do it. So let's see if this will do what I want it to. We're going to stay for a few days. Relation customers does not exist. Select all from customers with customer billable type. Aha. Migrate fresh and seed. I don't think I migrated the database. Oh, we're getting there. Come back to Arc, and this is going to make us log back in. So let's just log in. And yes, I know you can't see it, but it is definitely there. We're going to book this room between this date and long weekend. Go to sign in. Ta-da! So, what is happening? We have not got our API keys. So if I come to this, can I do anything with this? Okay, I can revoke a key and create a new one, and we can do this. So, okay. Tranquil Stay. API key for the Tranquil Stay application. Generate. Right. Let's share the token. This is what I need. Obviously, I will be removing that in a little while. Got EMV. Paddle, client side token. Blop. Up, and we can get this. We can show that key. Copy key. Come back to paddle. I don't know what the retain key is for. But let's see. Arc. Okay, so come back over here. It's doing something. You're not permitted to perform this request. Okay, what? Okay. What do I need to do? Okay, so that bit's fine. Let's come back over here. Once we've got all of that in, it's going to come ahead and try and do something. Is there anything that I need to do? Register a Paddle Sandbox account. I thought I had a sandbox. Your seller ID, yeah. Try sandbox. Okay. Let's log in. Remember me, please. What am I doing wrong? I've got a paddle account. I'm logged in with it. So authentication, got that, data import, don't need to import anything. Notifications, I haven't got anything that I need to do. What's that? What's retain? Something I don't need. Okay, so have I forgot my password already? Let's go check. Ooh, it's been sent. Let me go check my emails on my laptop. Over here. So it's definitely working as it should be. But something is stopping it from being useful. What could possibly be going wrong? That is definitely my email. I haven't received the email yet. Getting started to paddle, experiment, go to sandbox, verify. Okay, if I click on this, does it work over here? Does it work on my laptop? Incorrect login. Log in with your paddle account. Just tried that. It's saying no. Okay, so we have hit a slight problem. Oh, it is a correct password. I guarantee. Remembered your password. Yes, of course I know my password. I definitely don't have any caps lock on. Just, duh. What are you doing to me? Verify account. Okay, there's several steps that I actually need to take that I can't be bothered to take. I just want to show how it works. Come on, paddle. Oh, okay, so I can't do that. Instead, we will worry about something else for a moment while I'll do that in time for the next stream. I'll go through all of that malarkey. But what happens when we get a booking? Once a booking is confirmed, let's say we get a payment success come back, then what we want to do is allow the person to check in. Offline payments. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Pay in person when you arrive. Okay, so what I'm envisioning for a check-in, check-out is actually going to be done not on the website itself. It will be like an iPad app thing that's out the front. You kind of go in, you add something, and away you go. So I need to make one small change. Let's just collapse all of this and let's come and look at our booking migration, booking table. So we got a couple of things on here. We got a cost, status, and this stuff. What I also want to add is a table bring check-in code. Now, this is going to be nullable to start with. So when a booking is created, this happens. Let's go and make sure that is everywhere I need it. let's just do that. Null. Come over to booking. Before cost. And there we go. Then at the top, property, not read, null, string, check-in code. So the check-in code will be generated by the state machine. So if we come up to app, state machines, reservations. So if we have a look at the contract, it goes pending, confirmed, paid. Once it's been paid, a check-in code is generated, allowing you to check in. So paid state here, once we move to paid, we want to generate it. That is actually done in the confirm state. So once we move the state forward to paid, that will be on the confirmed. So when we're moving it to paid, what we do here is update the status to paid, but at the same time, generate the check-in code. So that's kind of how this part's going to work. So if this was in production, I would just create a new migration to alter the table. It isn't though, so I don't have to. So I can remove that. That override's redundant, but I'm going to keep it there because I will come back to work with that state. So this extends the base booking, which accepts booking into the constructor. So now we've got access to the booking within here. What we do is this booking update. The attributes we want to update is going to be the status, booking status, paid. But we also want to be able to say check-in code. And this check-in code is something we now need to generate. So, why has that got a squiggle? Just don't return. There we go. Paid. Okay, so this is going to cause issues. So I'm just going to remove the return type for now, because it's going to get in my way of what I'm trying to achieve. There we go. So there we go. There we go. There we go. So let's add a void return for now. So we are going to update and we want to be able to generate that check-in code. So perhaps what we can do is on the booking engine, we want to be able to generate a code, or maybe we just need a separate thing. Maybe we'll go to booking model. For now, what we're going to do is just add a method to this. And we'll think about how we can make it better in a little bit. So public function generate check-in code. That will return a string. So how can we do this? How can we make sure that our check-in code is unique, blah, 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 all that good stuff. So you're going to have to put in your email. So, I mean, we could just do something really simple like return string random length of 6. Yeah, we could do something really simple like that and say, that is your check-in code, because you're going to have to do some confirmation stuff on the pad as well. And that would work. So this confirmed state is this booking generate check-in code. And then all of that stuff just works. My wife has brought me food.
Cheesy spag bowl jacket potato.
Oh, cheesy spag bowl jacket potato. That sounds amazing. Thank you.
It'd be like ages. So.
I have. I've been an hour and a half, so I should probably finish soon so I can eat something today. Right. So let's just focus on this part. So confirmed state, what we're going to do is when we move to paid, we're updating it to the paid status and generating a check-in code. But that's got to be done through the API, which isn't actually in there yet. So let's just quickly add that API endpoint. And what we're going to do is say artisan install API. Let's just do that and worry about the fallout afterwards. No, I don't want to do that. I will resolve all of that. So we want to be able to say the user has API tokens, blah, blah, blah. We'll has API. No, we want to open the user model and say use has API tokens. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right, that bit is done. Database, any changes within here, migrations, we have probably got something, here we go, personal access tokens. Let's just delete that part and that part. You can then Laravel pint, do that, and we need to make this a UUID morph, like so. Nothing else that we need to worry about right now. Come down to roots, got API there. So we can say new directory API. In here, we are going to create our roots file. Declare some script types, use that, and we are going to want an endpoint here that allows us to do our magic. Right, so we need to add our API endpoint there. That is good. Which means I can also delete this one. I don't want that root in there to start with, so we're just going to delete it. So this is going to handle some stuff. And what it will then allow me to do is say, check in this user. So this is going to be a post request to a bookings booking check-in, very action-based. And we're just going to say bookings check-in for now. Gonna come back up here, HTTP controllers. We're going to have an API, reservations, bookings. And we're going to have a check-in controller. Check-in controller. This will have a public function invoke. And this will accept a request. And it will have a booking in there already. So what this then needs to do is say, does the booking or check-in code match? If it does, great. If it doesn't, complain. Then once it is, move the bookings state to checked in. So we got to do all of this stuff. This is going to take me maybe 5 minutes. So if booking check-in code is not the same as the request code, string, string. Then what we're going to do is throw a new unauthorized exception. They are not allowed to perform that action. And the message is going to be invalid check-in code, or you are not able to check in with that code. Now, what I'm assuming here is that the implementation is going to kind of get the booking already. So maybe we'll have to have an API endpoint here to get a booking, and it'll say, okay, so don't let them try and book check-in if it's not the right day or whatever. I'm going to leave that to client-side implementation. So what we can do here, we want to dispatch a background job to move the state. So public function construct. Now this is going to have a private read-only dispatcher. That one as a bus. Double-decker bus checked in. Awesome. Then down here, what we'll do is this bus dispatch something, and then return a new JSON response. So the data is just a nice simple message of thank you for checking in. And then the status is status accepted value. Ooh. And that is then going to be a JSON response. That part's fine there, but what we might also want to do is something like if booking status is equal to or is not equal to booking status paid, then we're going to throw another exception. Throw new unauthorized exception. And the message this time is you are not able to check in right now. Please seek assistance. Because there could be several reasons why that booking is not marked as paid. Somebody could have already checked in. Who knows? Why are we creating the API in this situation? The API is, so when I've gone to hotels to check in, there's always like those kiosks which will do the check-in for me. That is what this part is designed for. So we need a job. So what we're going to do is make a new job. And what we're going to do is say reservations check-in user. That is what we're going to want. So uncomment that. New check-in user. Now, this is going to want to know the user. So we can pass in that auth ID. It's going to want to know the booking. And that is about all it needs to know. So the user and the booking. So let's just fix that file so it's nicer to look at. And hopefully by the time I stream again, my editor will look a little bit nicer. String for the user, public read-only string for the booking. Now, this is then going to be handled. So it's going to want to get the not really going to need anything yet. So the booking is going to be booking query find or fail, where the ID is this booking. And then what we're going to do is we'll do permissions and stuff on this later. But then what we're going to want to do is, again, get the engine and say new engine, booking engine, that accepts a room as a parameter. Room is booking room. So what we're going to do is say with the room, and the engine is going to say check in this user, basically. So our booking engine is then going to have a check-in method, a public function check in, bring user, do something. So string user, and maybe the booking as well. So here we might do check if user, we should have done that already. We're going to say booking state, and the state is going to be checked in. So the state at this point should be paid, and we want to be able to check in. We don't actually need that user. We'll remove that. Doesn't need to do anything. So this check-in user, I can ignore that for now. We'll do checks and stuff somewhere else. So the booking engine, no. State machine, paid state, it should be at the paid state. We want to move it to checked in. What we then want to do is say this booking update attributes and the status is going to be booking status checked in. It's that simple. This could, do something or other. This could end up triggering other reactions. Maybe we omit an event. There's a reason why you didn't do booking in the jobs construct. Down here. It's faster to serialize and unserialize a string than it is a whole eloquent model. So if for some reason someone got past all of this and managed to do that and send a booking ID in some way that isn't actually accurate, it shouldn't be possible. Okay, I'm using lots of things in the way to stop that happening, and they do have to be authenticated. But if it for some reason gets to here, maybe it's from the admin interface, I want to quickly unserialize the data to start with, but then I want to have this kind of failure point of, okay, so since it was dispatched, maybe that booking's been deleted. Maybe the booking's incorrect. Do a find or fail in here, and then that won't check the user in. And I don't know why. It just won't. So it just won't book that user in. So things are a lot easier for me, if you know what I mean. So we've got the booking. We can check that person in. And what we could do is just remove that squiggle, do that. So there we go. we've checked a user in through the API. That would be using some form of tablet or kiosk or something. Now, before my lunch goes cold, I'm going to run away and eat it, going to push all this code up, and we will look into finishing the payments next time, because I've got to do a lot of stuff, basically, which I wasn't aware of. So thank you very much for coming. Have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know on Twitter what you want to see next time. Other than that, stay awesome. Have fun.